we do believe that, what we have here is not just Indonesia, but the whole of us of ASEAN. Yeah? And at the same time, we've actually signed, as you know, the agreement with Australia, what we call now the action plan to actually move forward in this so-called critical minerals. Yeah, and so very soon we'll have in September, first week of September, there'll be the ASEAN Week here in Indonesia. There'll be ASEAN Business Investment Summit, and I do believe that the U.S. leaders will be coming here into Jakarta, and we'll have further discussion. But at the same time, as I think we are moving forward, we have established actually, now in a way like a dual kind of supply chains where we have now built a supply chains where you can say there's without any involvement of a certain country per se. So I do believe it is ongoing, and we are actually preparing for this supply to the U.S. and we're working very closely with South Korea also, as you know that Hyundai, LG, those companies are actually creating the batteries production in Indonesia, and that's something that they also would like to have this part of the U.S. supply chain. So I do believe we are not alone. We are working together with our friends, and we do believe that the discussion is going quite well. And also, if you remember, at this time, there is also the interparliamentary of ASEAN and also with the partners and the U.S. Congress, Senate are here in Indonesia also. So everything is actually an ongoing process. Of course, there's more conversation that needed to be done, but we are still believing that we will be part of that supply chain.
Mr. Rasjid, this is JP Ong. On the flip side, you'll notice that the investments or the appetite or the appeal for Chinese investors and East Asian investors into Indonesia's EV sector hasn't really slowed down. In fact, when you might argue that they've been taking the lead in terms of investing in the EV sector. Given the momentum from these East Asian trading partners, how important is the West really for Indonesia to develop this EV sector? Can you go it alone with an all-Asian investment space, or is there a role to play for these Western players, either from Europe or the U.S., in terms of the EV sector in Indonesia?
If you look at just the population, Indonesia alone is about 180 million. And we look at ASEAN itself, it's more than 650 million people. So if you look at our own market, I think we are able to actually develop the electric vehicles market for our just ASEAN market. Because we are huge. I mean, we are number 4, number 5 economic of the world as ASEAN. So I do believe that without even the West, I think we are able to do it. But the thing is, it's not that. Is we want to be strengthening our supply chain regionally, but we want to be part of that global supply chains.